Hello, welcome to Dark Side Looks. My name is Nancy and I'm new here on YouTube. Before I get into my video today, I just want to apologize to my viewers because this will not be the best looking video yet. I need to purchase an actual recording camera for me to upload a good quality video. So until then, I'm sorry for the crappy quality in this video, in a couple of videos to come. With that being said, welcome to my channel, and if you like this video, please feel free to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. The first thing I do is prime my face with E.L.F's Blemish Control Face Primer. I like using this primer because it helps my face from breaking out when wearing so much foundation and so much concealer for my makeup looks, and it also helps keep the overall The second thing I do is apply my foundation. Today I'm using Maybelline New York's Fit Me Matte+poreless in the shade Porcelain. I like using this foundation because I like how it covers my pores and I also don't have to use so much product. I am applying this foundation very generously on my face and I'm using a damp beauty sponge to do so. I personally apply most of my liquid makeup with a beauty sponge because I feel like I have more control with putting the product on my face using a sponge rather than using a brush. And it also doesn't streak as well. The next thing I do is make myself more pale by applying CoverGirl's True Blend Undercover Concealer in the shade Fair Porcelain. I'm applying this with a damp beauty sponge. This is my first time using this concealer, and so far I like the coverage that it gives off. And while I'm wearing my makeup throughout the day, today anyways, after I did this look, I noticed that there wasn't really any creasing going on in my smiling areas or any cracks or funniness going on or movement whatsoever. So I really like that. And again, just make sure that it's blended out really nice and smooth, nice and blended, nice and even. That way it doesn't look funny if you want to go to take a picture later on. Next step I do is a little contour, and I'm using E.L.F's contour palette in the shade Light. And to apply, I'm using Jeffree Star's JS3 brush. And to blend it out, I'm using a complexion brush from E.L.F. You can use any contour brush and any complexion brush you have that you feel comfortable with to blend out your contour. I usually contour a little bit of my chin area in the sides. I also do my cheeks a little bit and my forehead just a tiny bit. Next, I'm setting the look using NYX's HD finishing powder in the shade Translucent. I like this setting powder mostly because I also like taking pictures of my looks when I'm done with them, and I can say this one particular setting powder definitely pays off when it comes to the HD finish that it has. I'm applying it all around my face using E.L.F's complexion brush. The next thing I'm doing is a basic blush job. I'm not going really crazy with my blush. I'm not really big on blushing my cheeks just because I have a natural red that sometimes comes out in foundations that I use. So I'm using the shade Blushing by E.L.F. And I'm also applying this with their powder brush, and I'm blending it out using, again, their complexion brush. I blend out my blush because I have fuller cheeks and I feel like I get more coverage that way when I blend it out a little bit, and it doesn't look clowny or scary in person. Next, before I do my eyes, I like to highlight a little. Today, I'm using Blossom Glow by Wet n Wild on Morphe's JS4 brush. I like this highlighter because it's not really blinding and it's definitely buildable. I kind of struggle with Wet n Wild's highlighters just a little bit, but I like how buildable they are. It definitely helps to make it blinding if you want it to be blinding. And again, I'm sorry for the quality of the video. It's not going to really show up for this part. And again, Now we are on the eyes. I'm applying 2 eyeshadow primers because it helps keep colors on longer. The first one I'm using is a dark circle concealer in the shade Fair, and the second one is an eyeshadow base in white. Both are by NYX, and I'm applying these with Morphe's JS11 brush and blending it out with a beauty sponge. Again, I feel like I have more control when I'm using a sponge to blend certain things out than I do constantly using a brush. using my favorite palette by Jeffree Star, which is the Blood Sugar palette. The first shade I'm using is called Cherry Soda. This is being applied with a JS6 brush, and I am applying this to the outer corner of my eye and working it onto my lid and blending it out as I go just a little bit, so that way it doesn't look scary or raccoony. Next, I am applying fresh meat all over my lid with a clean JS6 brush. I am also, while I'm applying it, I'm also working the color into Cherry Soda as well. This helps to build a dark red base for our smoky eye that we are trying to perfect. Now I am applying extraction with a JS10 brush and blending it out into my eye. What I mean by that is, after I'm applying it, I am working it into and around my eye. That way it's starting to create a smoky eye effect. We're not fully going to get this effect yet, but we will as we build the colors on. Now I'm going back in with a JS6 brush, and I'm blending the first 3 shades together to start creating the smoky eye effect. And those first 3 shades again are Cherry Soda, Fresh Meat, and Extraction. Again, I am just blending those with a JS6 brush to start to create the smoky eye effect on the edge. My eyelids, as you can see, are hidden, so I have to apply the dark. I have to basically build up my base, and it kind of stinks applying eyeshadows for hidden eyelids, but this is the way that I do it. I'm sorry that my faces look a little funny. I can't help it. It's just... Then on a JS12 brush, I'm applying Intravenous to my lid and crease to darken the look up and to also build more of a smoky effect. This color is one of my favorite shades in the palette because of how dark it is. I love the color payoff. I love how it's not patchy. What's not to love about this one shade? I love it for most of my dark looks. And it also reminds me of Unicorn Blood a little bit, which I love that shade for a liquid lipstick. Next, with a JS9 brush, I'm smoking the look out a little. Don't worry about blending it out too much because we are going in with black, which will be blending it in and smoking it out. So again, with a JS9 brush, I am just blending it out just a tiny bit, getting the colors working with each other, making sure that they blend with each other, which they definitely do. Now, with a JS5 brush, I'm going in with Jeffree Star's Morphe palette and using shade Fastlane to finish the smoky eye. With this, I'm applying it to my inner corner, my crease, and my lid, and I'm smoking it out as I go. That way it doesn't look scary, and it doesn't form something that we all know that blacks can do, which is called a raccoon eye. We definitely don't want that for this look, so the best way that I do it is I just take a little bit of black, not a whole lot, a little bit, tap off the excess, and I then apply and smoke it out at the same time. Circular motions definitely help as well, and also lastly, just to add a little extra oomph to the look, I am using the shade 2 from, again, his Morphe palette on a JS13 brush, just for some extra added pop. I do tend to lick the JS13 brush whenever I use a sparkly shade, just because I feel like it helps to apply the shade. You can, of course, use a setting spray if you're doing this on somebody else, but if you're using yourself and you're using your own brushes, do you, honey. You want to lick your brush? Lick your brush. I don't see anything wrong with it. Please don't be grossed out because I do it. It just helps me out. And again, and I also wanted to make the sparkle just a little bit more powerful, which is another reason why that I licked my brush. Now I'm going to do my other eye, and I'll be right back. Now I'm going to do my other eye, and I'll be right back. Next, I'm taking 2 black eyeliners from NYX to add some edge to my lower lash line. Feel free to go as light or as heavy as you wish. Now for mascara, I'm applying NYX Kush mascara to my lashes for extra volume. Lastly, I'm applying Weirdo by Jeffree Star on my lips. Lastly, don't forget to set your look with your favorite setting spray, and then you're all set. Alright guys, and that's how you get this red smoky eye, like Marilyn Manson type look going on. Thanks so much for watching, and tune into the future for more.